A Quiet Place is a creature horror movie. The movie starts with this family in the supermarket or store, and they're basically looting it, and all the while it is basically super quiet, and they're trying to be obvious that this family is trying to make as little noise, if any noise, as possible. Well, before they leave, their youngest gets this spaceship, and the dad freaks out, takes the spaceship, takes the batteries out, and does sign language like, look, we can't get that, too noisy, bad. And they leave. But unfortunately, before they leave, the little daughter ends up giving the spaceship to the little boy, like, keep it a secret, but with sign language. But the little boy, before he leaves, grabs the batteries. Just chaos, just bad decision after bad decision. So they get to this little railroad bridge area, and the kid plays the spaceship, and the spaceship makes this noise. Dad looks back, panics, and this creature just kills this little boy instantly, which sets the whole tone of this movie. And around here is when we find out that it's like day 400 plus of what seems to be this creature invasion, that they basically have supersonic hearing, and if you make any noise whatsoever, they are just these insanely powerful, fast, giant creatures that will not hesitate to just rip you to shreds. And it doesn't matter if you're human, a car, a raccoon, they are just splitting you in half. And this family has basically been surviving what you would basically call the apocalypse. And I know I said basically a bunch. But unfortunately, we get to the point in the movie where the wife is pregnant and she's about to have this kid, and their son just died. So it's a bunch of just bullshit happening. But the writing is very strong, and there's just a bunch of little cool things that you see that this family is doing to survive and be as noiseless as possible, which was pretty cool. Then we get to the part of the movie where the wife has the kid, and without too many spoilers, that's about where I'll end the plot. So my review for A Quiet Place, and warning, some spoilers. So this movie has incredible acting, an incredibly well thought out story, and there's just so many little details that you could peep out that this family is doing to be as silent as possible, which is just credited to the good writing. On top of that, kind of the element of the one girl who's deaf is basically the play on how she can't hear anything in a world that creatures kill based on sound. It was just kind of like a little cool thing I thought about the writing, as they can hear everything and she can't hear nothing. The creature designs were actually really good for some new creatures. Production was really good, and there was some really well lit scenes. And on top of that, there was also some really good jump scares. One jump scare in particular got me, had me shook. That doesn't really happen too often. And it's kind of credited to just how the movie is almost completely silent in the beginning. And that'll also lead me to the point that there is not a lot of dialogue in this movie, but this movie is just super strong because the acting is so strong that they're conveying emotion without words. Which then bleeds into the fact that John Krasinski not only acted in this movie, he directed this movie, and he helped write this movie, and his wife was his wife in the movie, which just makes it crazy. Oh, and the deaf girl is really deaf. That just was so powerful, and just being able to do all that in this movie, John Krasinski, he killed it. That was just crazy good. All in all, you're just looking at a movie that just started this universe, because there's even a new Quiet Place coming out soon, and is just an amazing movie. And with that being said, my recommendation for A Quiet Place, easily a must-see, as this movie is just close to being perfect. This, all in all, should just be a standard for movies going forward. I mean, just there wasn't nothing bad about this movie, and it is sold on all pages. So definitely A Quiet Place is a must watch.